Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 211 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 211 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you will stay for a very long time. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with me. I wouldn't be in this space without you, and I am so glad that you're here and that you continue to support me on the journey. Before we get started with this week's episode, I like to be foundational. Everyone who has listened to this podcast before knows that it's really important to me to make sure that we set the foundation before we kind of dive into our subjects every week. And so I like to make sure that you understand that this safe space, this house, is built on two very important things, and that is clarity and love. Clarity is really straightforward. I just want to make sure that you understand that the Well Done Life is a space that I created, a brand that I created for women, because I believe in the power of women. I believe in the power of us sharing our stories, the good and the bad, so that we can find strength and healing in each other. And so that we can be inspired, because it's very important for us to be able to be our most authentic self. And so I hope that by me sharing my journey, the highs and the lows, the goods and the bad, that I will inspire you and maybe help you not make some of the same mistakes that I made. And also by spotlighting other women in the community who are resources and who are doing amazing things to help elevate women and others, that you are inspired to utilize them as resources for your life, to elevate them, or to go out here and do your own thing, because I truly believe that each of us offers value and that we all have a very special journey that needs to be shared, because when we share our journeys, that's how we give thanks for our space on this earth. And that's how we also give an opportunity to inspire and to show other people the purpose of our journeys, the power of our journeys. So that is clarity and welcome. And then, of course, my favorite foundation, my second foundation, is always going to be love. I believe in love. I'm a sucker for love, and everything that we do in this space is rooted in love. And for me, one of the main things that I love to do every week is I love to send you prayers. I really do believe in the power of us coming together in prayer, because I know that it's magnified when two or more come together. And so this week, I guess kind of doing it differently, because I feel like this has just been the main thing in my mind lately. I want to just send you a prayer of love. I want to send you love on all levels. And I want to talk about love because I'm recording this on Saturday, February the 15th at 7:09 a.m. And obviously we just had Valentine's Day, but I feel like love has always been in the atmosphere lately. I feel like it's been something on my mind. I've been having lots of conversations around love. I'm in love, and I want to talk about it. And so my prayer for you this week is that I want to send you love. I want to send you love from, like I said, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And I want you to be surrounded in good love. I want you to be surrounded in love on all levels. But the one thing that I really want you to remember, especially now, especially in times like this, I want you to remember that love is a revolutionary act. Yeah. To love somebody right now, especially in times that are so divisive, is very revolutionary. And it's revolutionary in the part because if you think about it, we're being divided or attempting to be divided on so many different levels. And it's so divisive. And to be able to stand up in love, to love people that don't look like you, that don't act like you, that don't think like you, it can be a revolutionary thing. But then also it is the preservation of love, to have love in your life, to have someone that you really care, to have a relationship. I was so inspired yesterday by all of the love that I saw on social media. It was so nice. And I don't know, I was actually remarking to my boyfriend, I was like, I feel like for the first time in a long time, you're seeing people talk about who they love so much more. I think we all kind of went through that season, myself included, where, we just were kind of a lot more private about the love that we had. I think everyone was more concerned back then about, so many opinions about love, people's love. Everyone has an opinion, Lord Jesus. Some people can keep those opinions to themselves. But yesterday I saw a lot of people talking about giving praise, giving reverence, giving thanks for the love that they have been blessed with. And I just thought it was so beautiful. And I love that. I really do love having that on display because I think people need to see how important it is to have love, especially relational love, no matter what that looks like. Again, like I said, not kind of leaning into the political side of it all, but everyone is so divisive. Everyone is so worried about who is someone sleeping with, who someone is loving. And I really feel like, we need to remember love is so powerful. No matter how it is projected, it's not our place to worry about that. It is our place to love and how beautiful love can truly be. And to see people celebrating their love, celebrating their partner, that is powerful because I know I've had this conversation with my boyfriend lately, and I don't know how many other people may be having it, but in times like this, if you have someone who is solid in your corner, someone who loves you, someone you can trust, really trust. Let's be realistic about some of the things that we are seeing and some of the things that could happen potentially. You need to make sure that whoever you are tied to in a romantic way is someone that you can be down with, someone that you could possibly go to war with, someone who could fight with you by your side and protect you and cover you, cover your assets, cover your soul, cover your spirit, cover your body. Someone who really is down for you. And so when you see people out here sharing their love, I wonder sometimes, are they having those same conversations? Is this person as thorough as they need to be in their lives so that they can make it? Because we're all we got. And so loving them out loud is revolutionary, because to put that love out into the world, you could receive the negative blowback of it, but then hopefully you are surrounded in the positive aspects. Because I'll be honest, everything I read, I saw lately, or yesterday especially, was positive. I think everybody is in the mood to celebrate love. And I love that because love is revolutionary. Love can change hearts. Love can change minds. And it's just time that we lean into that. And so I really wanted to, like I said, kind of focus on it because it's so beautiful. I don't want to see it just pass away because it's one day. And I don't think it will. I think that there are a lot of people who are really getting back to love. And for those of you that don't have love yet, I hope that you are finding the greatest love of all, which is self-love. That's really been on my mind a lot too. I'm about to turn 52, or have my 52nd rotation around the sun, as I like to say. And right now I am in this season where I love myself. I really, really love myself. And it took me a long time to get here. For those of you that have been listening to the pod for a while, my journey back to self has been a minute. We've been here together almost 5 years. And so that me loving myself is new. It's not like brand new, like it's not just yesterday, but we're just a few years in the game of loving myself. And I feel so good. And going into this 52nd year and how focused I've been on my health and loving myself mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, just being the best version of myself. And it's not a perfect journey. I'm just really hoping that everybody finds the ultimate love, which is that love of self, because you need that love of self in order for everything else to be in line. And in times, like I said, like this, where it can feel so heavy, so divisive, so crazy, it is so important to find time for love of self and really do the work. Like, now is that time, because there is no one coming to save you but you. And you are equipped to handle everything that life will throw at you, but you have to believe in you. You have to be willing to make sure that you are in a space mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, where you can move through these challenges that are going to come, because life is going to do its thing. Life is going to life. But all in all, you still have to find a way to love yourself in it. Because if not, then you get lost. And when you're lost, then everything else goes offline. And so I'm really praying that you will find that. I really, really am hoping that you find self-love, because we spend so much time talking about relational love. But if I think about it, I wouldn't have been able to have the love that I have now if I hadn't been willing to do the work on myself, if I hadn't been willing to face a lot of myself that needed to heal. I needed to let go of past traumas. I needed to learn how to see past my limiting behavior, or to at least be in a space where I recognize that I truly do deserve it all and believe it. Because it's easy to give ourselves lip service, but it's harder to give ourselves action and follow through and opening up ourselves to realize that, yes, we are the problem. Because at some point in time, we have to realize that, especially as we are trying to navigate through relationships. It's not always that we are meeting the wrong person or we just can't catch a break in love. No, sometimes we're the problem. And we have to be willing to say that. We have to be willing to be honest about that so that we can be better. And you don't have to stay the problem. You just have to recognize that sometimes you are the problem, and be willing, be brave enough. Be brave enough to actually decide, you know what, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to do the work. Even if it's heavy, even if it feels uncomfortable, I'm ready to do the work. So I hope that this will maybe be a reminder to you, maybe a inspiring moment to you to say, if there's areas of yourself that you need to work on, that you're ready to take that step and you're ready to work on them. Because like I said, we deserve love, and you need love. We need it. And that's one of the things that makes me so excited about what I saw yesterday, what I've been seeing. I feel like there is like a resurgence, a little bit of empathy, a little resurgence of love. It's fighting. Don't get me wrong. It's fighting for its life in this madness. But I definitely see that there are a lot of people who have decided, you know what? I want to be the best versions of myself. I want to lead with love no matter what the world tries to tell me. And so I need to make sure that I'm right. I need to make sure that I am elevating and celebrating the love that I have, the love that supports me and nourishes me and keeps me going every day in the battles. So I want to make sure that I give it all glory and honor and praise, because that's what's going to help change, is sharing the love. And you know, it's not just being revolutionary in the sense of loving yourself or loving your partner, but it's also being revolutionary in the fact of loving your friends. You know, friendships are so valuable. Community, community, especially now. We need to make sure that our communities are so tight. And community is really important to me because I'm very blessed to have a really good group of friends. And I'm also very blessed to have you. Like, building this community has been such a labor of love for me. And sometimes I get in my feelings about y'all. I really do. I get in my feelings because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. I could do more, and I could, and I can, and I will. But I have to admit, I'm very grateful that as a community, I think you guys ebb and flow with me. And when I say ebb and flow, you understand the highs and lows of me, because I've had to understand the highs and lows of me too. I'm a reformed people pleaser. I'm a reformed, person who has given everything that they have and not taken enough back for me. So sometimes I have to disappear. Sometimes I'm front and center. It's just the ebbs and flows of my spirit, because I have to preserve the energy that I have. And I've learned how to balance it out. And I'm so grateful that my community, that you see me. And I'm very thankful. I want that for you. And so I pray that as you are, thinking about that you are loving on your community. Because to have community, that's revolutionary too. To have a group of people that you pour into, that pour into you. Let me say that again. A group of people that you pour into, that pour into you. That's so powerful, because that's what's going to help you when things get hard, because things going to get hard. Things are hard. I mean, I'm acting like it's not, but it is. We're all going through something, and we all find the time, no matter how small, to get together. Like, I love my girls, I'm very close with a few friends that I have here, and we get together in my friend Katie's spa, and we have coffee or tea or water or drinks and just talk about each other, just talk to each other in such loving ways, and we help each other navigate life. And when I say drinks, let me just go ahead and clarify that. Not like liquor. We ain't thinking liquor. I'm thinking like fraps and matcha lattes, girl. We're past the liquor phase of life. All of us are trying to get our life and the snatch and just try to keep menopause at bay. So I just like to clarify that, because, sometimes people are like, oh, you drink a lot when you say drinks. I'm like, no, I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in I don't know how long. I'm not even a social drinker anymore, but I digress. But no, like, as us having that time together just means the world. And like, we go out and do things like, those are my spa and state girls, my backpack crew girls, when we travel and do stuff, we do that sometimes to have like an escape. But sometimes, I'll be honest, it's just as simple as getting together for an hour or two, catching up over a latte or some water, and just talking about where we are in life and connecting, especially in these seasons. Because the world is doing what it's doing, but so is our lives. Like, I'll be honest. I mean, we're in our 40s and 50s, and, life is a trip at this age. I'm talking about, taking care of parents and family and trying to navigate love and life. And it's different. I mean, I'm in love again, and I haven't been in love in a long time, and I'm new to the game, and I really am possibly going to get married soon. And that's a whole nother conversation. That's secret in my heart and love. But I'm in love, y'all. And it's serious. I love him deep. I really do. I really do. And if you're listening, I'm going to marry you. And so I think about all these things and how my life is changing and navigating. And it's like, I'm so grateful for my community that I have here. But then I also have my other friend Sharon. She's like in Miami, and she's amazing. And I don't get a chance to spend as much time with her as I want to sometimes because of the distance. But just being able to have community with her when we can talk and catch up and go through our political discussions. I mean, again, it's all about the community. And yes, those are a few of my core people. My community, luckily, it's bigger than that, but it's deeper than that, but it's smaller than that. And if you know what I'm trying to say, because I'm sure there's a lot of y'all who have that same thing. And then there's y'all. It's just important to have space where we can breathe, where we can be, where we don't always have to think. And so you have to make sure that you are loving on those people who give you space to breathe, just to be able to breathe, because it can feel so overwhelming navigating through life, just trying to get things done, just dealing with the day to day, not what's going on outside of us, but just the day to day, that you need those spaces to breathe. And those people are going through things just like you are. And so you have to understand that they need your love just as much as you need them. And so I hope that you will give them their shout outs, their flowers, their love, whenever you see them, whenever you get a chance to encounter them, because they give you that energy to breathe. And of course, I could not round out like talking about, my peeps without talking about my friend, my brand manager, Tita. She has helped me put dreams into action, into reality, but we're friends. And so that's my voice note partner. Like, we do obsessive voice notes back and forth and talking about life and just things that are going on, because that's our way of connecting. We're in a season of busyness, but again, it's just finding that person, because she helps me breathe, that I can pour into just the way that she pours into me. And so again, I just, like I said, I'm not shouting them out just to shout them out. I'm shouting them out because everybody has a place, and also to show you the different dynamics of our friendships, because it's not always being in each other's face every day. Like, we would probably love to be together all the time, but life doesn't dictate that, but we still find a way to connect. And so I wanted to share that with you because I want you to understand that there is no excuse for you not to connect anymore. There's no excuse not for you to reach out. There's no excuse not for you to pour into the people that you love, because I'm learning that those are the people that we are going to need to build with. Those are the people that we're going to need to be vulnerable with. Those are our safe spaces. Those are the people that we can overcome challenges with. Those are the people that are going to help you get through the hard times, because the hard times always come. And so you got to make sure that you have that root, that foundation, especially as you get older and you are navigating life. And I'm not saying that it's age exclusive, but I'm just not going to pretend. I mean, the 40s, the 50s, it doesn't get easier. It does in a sense because you get freer in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. You don't carry some of the preconceived notions and doubts. But life does its thing as you get older, and life is going to continue to do its thing. And you have to have the right foundations. You have to have the right people in order to make it through. And you need community. You need it. And for those of you that think team, no friends, what have you, don't get me wrong. I've been there. I've done that. And I can tell you that is not the truth. You need a core. You need people, you need a community, and you need to be open to meeting new people. Even if they don't ever become like the tight people in your life, they still have value. You will be very surprised how building community will come to help you on your journeys with your health, with your life. You need people. So be open, but be cautious, be sure. Be clear. That's why I'm always talking to you about standing on values, because to love in such a revolutionary way, to love so freely, you have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for, because some people are going to present one way, but they're not that way. And you clearly have to be able to see it and move accordingly. But that doesn't mean that you stop loving. That doesn't mean that you stop growing. That doesn't mean that you stop being open. It just means that you have clarity, you have boundaries, you have values, and you move according to that. Don't ever lose sight of that. Don't ever stop being that person. Stand on business, but don't stand on business so much that you wind up standing in a circle for the rest of your life because you won't trust. Do the work and trust, heal, and be clear, and know that you are exactly who you are looking for to save you. Because I've seen a lot of that lately, like a lot of people coming out asking people, who's doing what, who's going to do this, who's going to save us. There's no one that's going to save us but us. And so you have to be willing to cast that mirror back at yourself and ask yourself what you need to work on, who you need to be, so that you can be out here loving on other people, so that you can be out here creating the change that you're looking to see. Those days have gone long past to ask what others are going to do for us. It's now time to ask what you are going to do. And so you need to make sure that you have community. You need to be able to stand on values. You need to remember how powerful love is, because love is a revolutionary act. And then kind of rounding it out, because it's really kind of been on my heart a lot lately. And I guess I've kind of talked about it, but it's family, Our families, our relationships with our families, they're such a complex thing, isn't it? God knows it is. I mean, I've talked to you guys about the complexities about relationships that I've had within my families, relationships that I had with my late brother. It was complex. Love can be complex sometimes. It's still revolutionary, but it's definitely complex, especially as it relates to the love that we have with our families. And I think the best thing that I can always say to that is to never forget your values. Never forget who you are. But also be empathetic and understanding that everyone's experience is not the same. And everyone processes different traumas that they've experienced, different things that they've seen very differently. And you have to be open to that. Don't be so guarded that you can't see into forgiveness, that you can't see past some of the foolishness so that you can have relationships with your family. Because now is the time, like I said, at this age where in my level of life, you're dealing with the latter years of time with your family. Like I'm very fortunate. My mom is 77. She's going to be 78 this year in April, God willing. And so I find that now, I get on her nerves. I've been getting on her nerves. I think that's just the nature of the beast. But I get on her nerves because she sees me and I see her in me. We are the same. And so we butt heads because of it, and we talk about that quite a bit. But I love that she shares her experiences with me. I love that she will talk to me about what it was like growing up, what it was like raising us, about being married to my father. Having those conversations are healing me, but at the same time, they're teaching me. And so I encourage you to have relationships and have conversations with the elders in your family. They're the griots, they're the storytellers, they're the knowledge bases, they're the beacons, they're the love on fire. Like I saw someone say recently on social media how it's become a trend for people to say that they are not their ancestors. And for me, I could never imagine saying something like that. I am truly the product of my ancestors. Oh my goodness. I am a product of their love. Their love was revolutionary. I think about it, like my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, who I'm named after, Lavinia, she was a revolutionary woman. Her way of loving my father, to teach him to be so open emotionally and to be such a caring person, to be such a giver, to help her be able to give strength to him, to be able to raise me and my sister, to be able to love my mother in such a way that she could be in a nurturing, supportive, and loving, caring relationship and show me what love is like. Like that's just an example. I think about my paternal grandparents, they struggled so much. And my grandmother, my God, my maternal grandmother, she was burned over 70% of her body and survived and was in a hospital for a year. And I think about how she was able to raise my mother and my uncle and my aunt and my brother and love my grandfather through abuse and still be this amazing woman who was so loving and kind, even in spite of what she endured, even as a child. So I think about it. All of those women, all of those men have poured their love into us, and it has seeped in through the generations and may help make me and my brother and my sister, my mother into who we are. I could never denounce that. And I am so grateful that I get a chance to carry their memories and stories of their lives, because it always reminds me of how blessed I am to be in the position that I am and how important it is to always show love, and to remember that I am the product of their prayers. I am the product of their pain. I am the product of their love. And for them to love in such a way, in spite of everything that they endured, is revolutionary. And how we all have to remember that we are the product of their prayers. We are the product of everything that they endured, and how we have to pass that love, those prayers, that energy on to the next generation so that they can endure as well. That's why I said love is revolutionary, because it is carrying us through generations, through decades, through centuries of oppression to this point where we are now. And yes, don't get me wrong, the world is crazy, but we are still living on those prayers and dreams. I know I am. I am very grateful. My life could look a lot different, but it doesn't because of that. And I never lose sight of that. I never lose sight of it. That's why I think it's so important to cultivate those relationships now, especially now in seasons where that history, those prayers are all under attack. You got to be able to take that energy into you so that it can fuel you to be able to be the next griot. I don't have children, but I pray that I will always, while I'm here, be able to tell my stories and leave that legacy into the next generation, however I choose to tell it, and even some through here, so that maybe someone will hear this story later and understand how much I valued the lineage that I come from, the family that I come from. No matter how complex the relationship is, the love that pours throughout the Davis and McCoy family was revolutionary, and it built me. And it built a beautiful family that continues to grow and evolve. So don't forget to value the family that you have. Don't forget to learn the lessons, to hear the stories, no matter how complex the relationships are. Never diminish the lineage that you come from. Never forget, yes, you are your ancestors on fire and you are everything to them. And let the next generation be even more so on fire, especially now when they are going to need us to keep the stories alive. I get so passionate when I talk about that. I pray and think about my ancestors every day because as I've gotten older, I can clearly see that I am truly living on their prayers, on their love, on their pain, on their triumphs. I'm so grateful and I live in that gratitude, and I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you and remind you about the power of that gratitude as well. So yeah, kind of rounding it out. Like I said, love is revolutionary. And I hope that it's not just a day. I don't think it is. I think there's more of a season out there. It's building. It's an undercurrent. I hope everyone gets a chance to ride that undercurrent, to gird it, to love it. And I hope that you are surrounded in love in everything that you do and that you value the love that you have in all times. So that is the podcast for this week. I will be back next week with another episode. I cannot wait to talk to you again. I hope that you are relaxing and enjoying your Sunday. I hope that you are surrounded, like I said, in love. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I'll make sure I put all of my information in the show notes. Don't forget to share your revolutionary acts of love with me. I want to be inspired, and I want to inspire you. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.